Hello, my name is Joshua Moose, and today I want to talk to you about Project Red. It's a nonprofit organization, and their main focus is on the AIDS epidemic in Africa. It was started by Bobby Shriver and Bono, the singer. You might know him from U2. Um, so, what they wanted to do was they saw this incredible AIDS epidemic in Africa, which let me tell you a bit about AIDS. AIDS is started by HIV, which is known as human immunodeficiency virus, and it's basically a virus that infects your body, and you might not even know you have it. It doesn't necessarily present symptoms immediately. It's um, it's very insidious in that way. It attacks your immune system, so you have something in your body called T cells, and HIV will go and kill the T cells. They're your immune cells essentially, and it will kill them until a certain point is reached at which you won't have enough to fight off even simple infections like the cold or a flu could be a death sentence, and that's when it progresses to AIDS, which is acquired immunodeficiency virus. And once it's progressed to AIDS, there's no really going back. It's 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 a death sentence at that point, because, like I said, you can get these infections that just will not go away ever. So you won't be able to fight them off, and eventually it'll get you. And so it's a pretty horrible way to die. And the way it's passed is through sexual transmission. So it's or infected blood, or from mother to child even. So it it can be spread pretty easily without people even knowing they have it, and that's why it's such a huge epidemic. And also in sub-Saharan Africa, where Red focuses mainly, it's there's not as developed healthcare as in our part of the world, so people aren't as knowledgeable about these things, one, and then two, they might not have access to contraceptives as much as we do. They might not be able to seek treatment as easily as we do if they discover they have it. And so it can be a really serious problem there. Scott Gottlieb is someone we used in our presentation, and he wrote this report on how 50% of teenagers, that's half the teenagers in the hardest hit countries of Africa's population, will die of AIDS. And that's an incredibly high number. And so Red saw all this, and they wanted to do something about it. So their method of doing something about it is collecting money through the buying power of populations in more developed countries like the U.S. And they do this by making deals with companies, essentially, to brand the company's products with the Red brand, and then when people buy those products, the Red brand gets a portion of the money from those products. So essentially, they don't have to do too much to end up collecting a pretty good amount of money, which it's efficient, and they don't make any profit. They use it all for their overhead costs, and what they don't use goes directly to helping people. So essentially, when you buy a Red product, they'll get a piece of the money, and they'll use that to funnel it into antiviral medication, which is how you treat HIV, because it's a virus. And so they'll spread that around. They'll also they invest a bit in education so people know how AIDS is spread, how it can harm you, and they especially focus on pregnant women, because it's you can, rather than treating somebody who has HIV or AIDS, which is still good and they still do that, you can prevent somebody from ever getting it in the first place, because it will spread from the mother to the child. So a big goal of theirs is to get mothers on antiviral medicine, and they've actually done a pretty good job of that. They have a huge impact in Africa. 95% of pregnant women who have HIV have been treated, and a good portion of that is from Red. And people are much more knowledgeable about it there now. And yeah, $64 million has been sent to Ghana, and 36 million have been helped. And so yeah, they do a lot of good, and they do it through really simple means, just educating people, getting them medicine, getting health care available for them, and eventually their goal is to completely eliminate AIDS in Africa. And yeah, so a way that you can help personally in this effort is by buying Red products, or rather Red branded products, from, I think there's an iPhone, there's some stuff at Target, there's a bunch of different, it's everywhere. And if you like the color red, it's even better. If you don't, then, you know, think about the fact that you're doing something good for somebody, and you're helping to reduce suffering throughout the world. So you can buy red branded products, and a portion of that money will go to helping people in Africa, and you can know that, and it'll make you feel better. And so yeah, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Buy Red.